welcome to a very early start and the final episode of season 2 of HK Sailing. We are here at the Gold Coast as we were when we left you last time, and we're going to make our way up to Moreton Island, but we're going to do it a different way. We're actually going to do it via the Seaway. One, we can save quite a few nautical miles. Two, it's going to be quite picturesque. Only negative is it's going to be a motor sail day. In other words, we won't get the sails up, we'll just have the motor running. And I've got an Insta360 I'm going to mount for you, and hopefully you get some really scenic shots, and I'll tell you a little bit more about my journey. So let's get the show on the road. Okay, so a change of plans. I just run aground 6 times. So we're heading back to the Gold Coast. We're going to go via the sea. I'd rather do the extra miles and not have this headache. So good morning, everybody. Yes, here we are back at the Gold Coast. The route I took up the Seaway yesterday, obviously a little bit too shallow for this boat. We run a 1.9 metre draft, which is a hell of a lot. But I'm absolutely guaranteed that we can get through. So I sat down with a friend last night and we planned another route, and we're going to give the other route a go today. So what I'll do is I won't show you the first part of the journey because you've already seen that. I'll wait till we get to some new territory. Particularly, I'll put the camera on just as we go over the most sketchy part. It's 1.8 meters on the charts. We've timed it so that I should be there with a fair amount of tidal water in, and we should be able to cross it a-okay. When we ran aground a couple of times yesterday, but it was just, I knew the areas we were going into were a bit sketchy, so I took it very, very slowly. So there was no harm, no foul, and I was able to back out of it nice and easy. Just frustrated, I think, that I couldn't get to my final destination yesterday. But today, I've woken with a different attitude. We're going to give it another roll. Instead of going to sea and saving potentially 8 hours worth of sailing or motoring. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it really easy over some of the sketchy parts, and if we have to do an overnighter on this route, I'm fine. Loaded up with provisions when I got back to the Gold Coast yesterday, so we've got a heap of food and stuff on board, so we should be fine. Only catch-22 is there's rain on the horizon, so we're probably going to get wet. It looks like it might clear. I haven't had a good look at the forecast, but it does look like it might clear. Now, as I mentioned, I did have a chat with a friend last night who helped me out with his track, the track he took with a slightly deeper boat than this, so we should be okay. But it's quite coincidental because this final episode of season 2 of Sailing North, I wanted to chat to you about some of the friends that have helped me get here. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Let's give this another go. Stress, stress, stress. Here we come. Okay, here we go, people. This is the next hour, or next 10 minutes are going to be the most stressy. Then the next hour after that, we're going to be on edge. That's probably the best way to describe it. This is the passage where I am scared the most, so let's see how we go. I'm right on the recommended track, so let's just hope there's enough tide. We're still in reasonably deep water. We've got 3.5 at the moment, reducing. Crab truck. Three meters. .8. .2. .1. And we've got a boat coming that's going to create some wake. 1.8, 1.7, 19, 17, 15, 17, 16, 18, 2 meters, about 1.5, because my depth sound is a bit lower, about 1.5 will touch. And we're over the worst of it. Thank God for that. Thank you, Blakey. everybody, and welcome to day 3 of this final passage. Oh my goodness, it's taken forever. No big deal. We are going to leave Mud Island, you can see in the background there, and we are going to head off to our final destination today. The good news is we have wind today for a change. It's fluctuating between 6 and 7 knots, so it's not super powerful, but by the same token, it's very, very consistent. So we get to sail. Yes, yes, yes. Can't wait. Let's get on with it. Well, this is the perfect way to end a massive sail. We're doing just under 5 knots. I've got the Jenny out, the main out. We're just cruising along. We're about 3.5 hours from our destination. What a great way to end a great sailing experience. That town over there, that's the birthplace of the Bee Gees. Sailing solo from Sydney to the Sunshine Coast has proven to be incredibly challenging and a lot of fun. However, I may have done it solo, but I had not done it alone. Quite a few people have helped me get here along the way. People like Alan Blake, who I co-host the High Tide Fishing program with. He's been there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, giving advice and ideas and helping me along the way, and I'm so grateful for that. David Raphael, a good friend of mine from Pittwater, who is also an avid sailor. He has been phenomenal. Phone calls and encouraging messages. A second opinion on thoughts and processes on how to sail the boat. Stephen King, another solo sailor, has given up his time, has shared weather information with me, has gone through my planning. People I've met along the way, like Ron Booker, who gives up his time to share sailing information. Dizzy and Chris, two guys I met at Coffs Harbour who have been absolute legends, sharing sailing stories and ideas, as well as helping me try to find my mobile phone. All of my Facebook community have been following me from the start of this voyage too, sending messages of support and encouragement. The High Tide online community have been amazing, in particular Yearn, and I'll tell you more about Yearn in weeks to come. But he stayed up till 3 a.m. in the morning to make sure I got into port okay, and has been a sounding board for many of my trips. And you too, everybody that's taken time to watch these videos and leave comments in the comment description below. It's made this whole voyage so worthwhile. Well people, as rain starts to fall, we've made it to our destination. Solo from Sydney to just north of Brisbane on my first major outing on this vessel. Pretty happy with that. Looking forward to catching up with family and friends while I'm here. That stuff's private, so it doesn't go on the sailing channel. All we have is sailing. And speaking of which, we've got to get back to Sydney, and we've got to do it pretty darn quickly. I've got crew coming on board. I'll tell you more about that when we get ready to go for season number 3. Thank you all very much for watching season number 2. Thank you again to everybody that's helped me out along the way to help me get here. Even though it was a solo sail, as I say, I have not done it alone, and I'm in a deep debt of gratitude to a lot of very kind, caring and giving people. Please give us a subscribe if you feel like you want to watch more content, and a thumbs up really helps, and I'm always keen to hear your comments, especially for my stuff ups, so feel free to attack and sledge and have a bit of fun. Why not? You can do it. You got to live by the sword, you got to die by the sword, right? Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you all in season number 3.